What up, world? Live on that with Mr. Be Great Today, Lamar King Sr. Glad y'all tapped in with me. Got another amazing show for y'all tonight. Got a good friend of mine, Telly Boone, on the show. Y'all help me welcome to the show. So Telly, I give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. Tell me a little bit about yourself and where you're from and all that good stuff.
I'm Sparta, Georgia, man. First, I want to send some healing energy to my city, man. There's a lot going on down there with this situation with what's her name, Miss Grill.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to send my condolences to her family as well as the ones who are involved, because they going through it too.
No doubt.
I don't know the details on it, so I can't really comment on it. So I just want to send some healing energy to my city, Sparta. So that's where I'm from, bro.
Okay, they're going through a lot down there, man, and my prayers and affirmations goes out to the people of Hancock County and everything that's going on down there.
All right, that's what's up. Before we get into that, though, man, I want to salute you, man, from seeing where you came from.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We came from the same era, bro. I remember you was goddamn YK, Terrio. Goddamn, you want to sing, you want to rap, sell dope, goddamn, just selling cable TVs.
Everything.
Hey, man, you done did it all, man. What drives you, bro?
Man, I tell you, it's just, what really drives me, bro, is just, being a better version of myself than yesterday. That's when whole Mr. Be Great Today comes in there as far as like who I am as a person today, because as I look back, and that's generally the only time I look back, is to see how far I've come. You know what I mean? Just to see how much I've elevated, how much I've just transpired in this life, and all the things we've been limited with, especially in the beginning, coming from rural areas like Sparta, Milledgeville, Easton, wherever, right? So, just being happy who I am today, man. I had to learn that, I didn't know it all like most young people think they do, tend to know as a young adult. And I'm just proud to see myself in this light, and I'm gonna keep grinding, man, keep shining. I can't stop now. I come too far to go back. You feel me? But,
hey, man, I can respect that, boy. You're a perfect example, man, and you're a good example for the kids in the community and where you came from.
Yeah.
But you done did a lot, bro. So that's what drives me down. It's the same thing, man, because like you said, from where we came from, being in a small community, everybody know each other, you know, but it's so much anarchy going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can come from a place and try to change people and inspire them, and also show them, be an example is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You can be an example for a person, that's better than telling them. And then they seeing you telling them one thing and they seeing you do something different.
Yeah.
So,
I got you. So man, you go back. We got like a 20 plus year history with each other. And I recall, you helped organize the Peace Fest. For those who don't know, the Peace Fest was a big, like a big block party, pretty much, car shows, entertainment, food, just we go down to, because Sparta Park was always the spot on Sunday, but Telly changed the game back in the early 2000s, and he brought so many communities together. What was the thinking behind that, and how did that all come into play?
Shit, man, it actually started when I was younger, right? I was really into a whole lot of gangster shit.
Yeah.
So I know you was on one side of the flag, I was on the other. You was the blood, and I repped the black.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What it was, but everybody, when I click with people, I click with them no matter what they represent.
Yeah.
But I know I don't consider myself as a follower. So when I got in it, I was like, man, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, I got to switch the game around for what it really means.
Yeah.
So that's what the concept of the Peace Fest. I'm trying to get Blood, Crips, and GDs together on one accord and show positive love. So that was the reason for the Peace Fest. Because if you know, everybody want to do the same thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have some fun, make some money, and go home.
Yeah.
Nobody don't want to go out there and just really, start on shit, go to jail, or, you know what I'm saying, or get killed. Nobody don't do that, man.
They really don't.
So, we came up with the Peace Fest. So I knew a lot of guys in the street, so I connected with them. They were word of mouth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
way before the internet. Way before the internet.
Had no internet. Yeah, you know how it traveled, word of mouth, man. I called all the dope boys, all the gangsters, scripters, everybody pushed up, man. We had a good time, bro. So
Yeah.
a couple people said, man, we need to do this annually.
Yeah.
So we tried it, you know what I'm saying? But I don't have a drive to the point where, if the concept is not there. You know what I'm saying? If I'm doing something, I want to do it for the concept of what it really is. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just do it to have fun. I got to have a concept and a meaning behind everything I'm doing. So by me not being committed to that, that's why I kind of let it die down, you know.
Yeah, but y'all had a damn good run. Cause what? How many years consecutive? Y'all went quite a few years.
Probably about 6 years straight.
Yeah. And you know, and shout out. I know the last one we did was what?
2019,
pre-pandemic.
2019, yeah.
So you know, and I still enjoyed it because and to be honest with you, I gained a lot of information at that. It was some very influential people that came. What's the young lady Tamika? She taught me a lot as far as about your diet and what you consume. I remember I got videos about. I was asking about, you know, what is trans fat. She was talking about a lot of different stuff, but I really, really, truly enjoyed, you know, that last piece.
Yeah, speakers there, man, speaking on domestic violence.
Yeah,
anti-bullying. We had people speaking on like AIDS and HIV, you know, mental health.
Yeah, Be Great Today.
Be Great Today, yeah. For real, man. We had a lot of good speakers there, man. But you know, people don't want good information like that unless they're forced to get it.
Yeah, but why?
I'm all about concept.
Why you feel like that? You know, it seems like when you know, even if you look at it, you know, like me and my journey in having on air with Mr. Be Great Today, is all about mindset shift. It's all about positivity. Why are people so reluctant to jump on the bandwagon when it's something good? But if it's something negative or something, you know, controversial, you know, whatever the case may be, they willing to jump down it, they willing to share it, they willing to comment, they willing to interact, you know, whether it be social media or just in the barbershop. How is it that people shut down conversations or shut down situations like the Peace Fest? They don't want to participate, they don't want to be a part. But if it's, you know, Will Smith and Chris Rock, they're going to talk about it for 2 weeks and they're going to keep it jumping.
That's because us as people, man, we are the smartest, dumbest thing that were ever created, I think. So, you know what I'm saying? Because we are confused people, man. We need validation for certain things that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and then like if it don't mean nothing until it happens directly to them. Yeah. Specifically. So people can see, you know, somebody getting robbed or something won't do nothing, but then when they do it, they be like, why I didn't get help? No, why nobody didn't help me?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or they kid get jammed up on something they see. We see it all the time on the news, man. It just us as people, man, we confuse people, and that just some shit you have to grow out of, man. You just think, you know what I'm saying? You are your own solution. The answers is all within.
Yeah.
If you dig deep in yourself, man, you will know, like, most of the things out here, there are a lot of stuff that's going on is fugazi.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of shit fake, especially with the internet, man. People glorifying people for the wrong reason and not for, you know, what's really happening around it. It confused, man.
Yeah,
confused,
it is.
Bro.
It is. It's like, you know, I got a clip from my brother when he said, it used to be this, now it's that. Everything vice versa.
Everything vice versa. When it used to be this, it ain't that.
You know, the new love is hate. The new real is fake. Like, you know, everybody is trying to put on this facade. I think, in my humble opinion, that they want to be seen as something rather than standing for something. You know, and we all do it in some capacity, right? We all have certain flaws where we're, you know, more concerned with what other people might see us or how they might view us. So we kind of, you know, tread lightly, or we be careful what we say or careful what we do because we're in fear of how people are going to look at us or perceive us, you know. So my thing is like, you know, seeing you, you know, transition from the streets, transitioning to community activists, you know, and doing positive things. You know, what did it take for you to say, you know what, I'm not going to go with the status quo. It's not about the flash, the flame, you know, and all the glamour. What transitioned in you and what made you look at life, hey, I gotta, you know, have a purpose behind what I do?
All right. First, it started off when I was doing all that wild, I was Telly Boone. So what made me transpire? I got to know me. So that's why I changed my name to Telly X. You know what I'm saying? I used to look in the mirror a lot. I used to talk to myself in the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you know, because I can fool people on the outside, but on the inside, I'm feeling guilt, feeling ashamed with dumbass shit, you know. But on the outside, I'm fooling people, you know, like everything is all good. So once I got to know me, who I am, so that's what changed my narrative, my way of thinking, and the way I move, and the way I discern on different things, different choices I make. So even though I done made some fucked up choices in my life, and I'm probably still gonna make one or two more, but it ain't gonna put me in a compromised situation that really take me out the game. You know what I'm saying? So no, I got a sense of discernment, man, and I talk to myself a lot. That's really what drives me and how me moving the way I move.
Yeah. Self-awareness. You know, I had my, you know, my uncle, free childhood. He doing life without parole, and he said you gotta have self-awareness and self-development. You know, you gotta have that long look in the mirror, and I can relate and I can understand what you're saying, because when I transformed from YK, you know what I mean, from Tario to Mr. You know, Lamar King Sr., you know, Mr. Be Great Today, I had to really do some real, you know, soul searching. Like, man, it was like my world turned upside down, and I started viewing it as like, look, everything that you don't have anything to prove to anybody but yourself. So let's check yourself. You know, just like Paul said, that you check yourself. And once I started looking within and be like, hey man, you ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do blase just to be, you know, considered a real nigga. You ain't got to be, you know, obnoxious and, you know, arrogant in your thinking just to be, you know, a alpha male or a dominant male who demands respect. So it's just all in how you move, and I definitely can, you know, commend you on that, because I've seen it firsthand. You know, you know, even in my book I talk about adopting mentors who don't even know that you're a mentor. You've been my mentor, you don't even know how long, bro. Like even the first day we was on AC1 at Ring Manufacturing, man, I watch how you move, and I'm like, man, this man a GD, and he, you know, he giving me more game than sometimes some people that was within my own circle. You know, and I can appreciate you, you know, for that, you know what I mean? So, you know, as far as like what, you know, I know we talked about your influences, and we talked about the difficulties of trying to, you know, bring things together, but who were some of those, you know, people or organizations or local businesses that help you, you know, bring Peace Fest or bring, you know, your community activist skills to the table?
I got a couple of influences, man. Guy named Mark Watkins, called him Cool Pops. He plugged in. That's how I got to meet Ifeanyi Shakur, Tupac mama. He brought her to Mayfield, and they did Tupac birthday down there.
Wow.
But he actually had the studio down there in Mayfield. It was called the Thug Mansion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they did Tupac birthday down there, the Source magazine. I think Mike Tyson pulled up, the Outlaws. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that.
Were there. Yeah, man. That's why I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if they came together, you know, they had busloads of people from New York, everywhere, bro. You know, and everything was like on like some love. It wasn't nothing but love. And so that what really inspired me. And then Mark Watkins, you know, he did a lot way before his time, man. Brought the studio, introduced a lot of guys to the music game. And then I had one of my other mentees, Richard Smith. He was in Germany at the time, you know, down there. He was playing professional ball, and that was a big inspiration, because when I was younger, he had an organization called the Drug Free Me. He used to get all the kids from the hood. He had a store downtown selling sports apparel that his mom had. And we used to go inside of there, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, man, we got to clean these streets up. I was legit, you know, Richard was doing this, but he always stayed in connect. He extended the opportunity for me to come to Germany, but I had to hit the streets by that time, you know. But my little brother went. My brother ended up going over there with him, man. It was pretty cool.
Man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. It's good to have a system and a support system and people who are around you to kind of prepare you to to continue to do good, because we've all walked that path. We've all went through scenarios that we wish we could have did over or did differently, right? So and I again, Sparta is filled with rich history, and I'm glad to have you, on the show and bringing you in to give, your insight for coming from small town USA, just like myself, so, you had to have a mindset shift, right? you had to have a mindset shift. So what do you do daily? You know, I know you've changed your diet. You're a vegan now, right? Correct?
I wouldn't call myself a vegan. I'm just a healthy eater. I
Gotcha.
don't like to put titles on it, you know what I'm saying? Because if I got a crave for something, I'm gonna have what I want because I do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
That's just it. But I try to keep a clean diet. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink, smoke, don't indulge in sucker shit.
Yeah.
I keep my mind. I read a lot of books too, bro. That's what I really do. I read a lot of books instead of when I'm driving. Sometimes instead of listening to music, I listen to books or either podcasts.
Yeah.
So like yours, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that was a part of your mindset shift, because like being aware of what you put in your body, because you know if we want to live a long time, we got to take care of our temple. You got to be, you know, and I call you, even when we talked earlier today, you was on your way to the gym, all that stuff, just being consistent. What's the biggest thing as far as like being consistent and still do what you want to do, but not be detrimental to yourself, right? But what's the biggest thing to stay consistent? Because, you know, like you said, we're the smartest dumb people on the planet. How do you stay consistent, Telly? How do you keep yourself, honest in this thing?
Just being honest with yourself, man. Like, just say, for instance, you say, look, bro, I don't even smoke no more. But goddamn, when you around people, you not smoking, then you get home, you go outside and smoke. You fooling yourself.
Yeah.
Stop fooling yourself, and you'll be more consistent with a lot of things you do because you ain't fooling nobody but yourself.
Yeah.
When you're not being consistent, you got to have discipline too.
Yeah.
And that comes from, changing your mindset. It's all in your mind. We got to change the narrative, the way we think, man. We're going to change anything. Before we give somebody the money to change, if they ain't changed their mindset, they still going to be doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're right. I heard a guy said, if you take a $100 person and give them $1 million, they're going to buy $1 million worth of $100 shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they still, and that's why a lot of times when people get, large sums, just as an example, they'll go buy a whole bunch of little stuff and think they doing something. But actually, you just as poor mindset as you did when you didn't have no money. So I definitely get you, man.
New to the podcast, man.
You new to it.
How you like doing it, man? How you like doing it?
It's straight, man. The podcast, man, doing it's really therapeutic for me, to be honest with you, because, just like you say, you go look in that mirror, you go, you have those self-talks, but now you get to kind of speak it, into the universe. You get a chance to, really tell your story or tell how you feel about a certain situation without, I would say without any real lashback, because it's just me and you here. It's just like I'm able to talk it out, get it out. And again, a lot of times people walk around with so much stuff on the inside and they don't really never express themselves, not open, and being able to be open and not being afraid of your flaws, not being afraid of your shortcomings, even speaking it out there and just putting it out there. So then you can't use your work, you can't use my shortcomings against me then. So podcasting, it really helps. It's really therapeutic. It's a way, even listening to the podcast, because then you see that, hey, I'm not the only one that go through these scenarios. I'm not the only one trying to seek change. And I love the way, just like you said, just being real with yourself, because a lot of people do that, Telly. A lot of people go out here and lie to the world, and then at home, saying they on a diet or whatever, just as an example, then come back home, they eating Little Debbie's. You go beside their bed, they got chips and everything. So just being real with yourself. And then it's on wax now. Now it's out there, it's used on the internet somewhere. This is here forever. So it's kind of like a visual or audio diary for me, to say the least. So
congratulations, man. I see you doing big things, man, because you got a pretty good show, bro.
Man, I love it, man. And all I want to do, Telly, and again, it's not about me, it's about examples, because we all go through the same stuff. I had Leroy Hill on the show last week. Guy did, had a successful career in the NFL. And he had some of the same issues that I've had, that you've had. Like, regardless of what you accomplish, or regardless of what social status you at, regardless of what type of economic status you at, you still go through the same scenario as everybody else. And that's why this is good for me and for others, to understand that you're not in this fight alone. You're not in this world alone. We all go through shit. We all have similar shortcomings and similar scenarios that we play out in our head and we, act out in our environment. So it's just about, bringing awareness, getting it off your chest, understanding, empathizing, correlating, your life with what comes on the show, and just continue to get better. Continue to get better, each and every day, even with the podcast. Just like getting better day in and day out.
What's up, bro?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of respect for you, Doc.
I sure appreciate it, man. I sure appreciate it. So, what's your next move? What you working on now? What you got cooking?
So I ain't working on nothing as far as like on the entertainment side because I just got my hands tied up in a lot of stuff with different businesses and all of that. Well, I don't, really want to speak on because there ain't nothing that the public. It's just, trying to leave a legacy. I also live a legacy with it while I'm doing it. Yeah. That's the main thing.
No doubt, man. I like I said, I call him. I trust you as a confidant, and you have gave me so many pointers on life, man. Like, I see you, as you move, and I see you have a happy marriage, and all that stuff. What's the key to having a happy marriage? Being that how long have you been married, and what's the key to that tenure in marriage?
Shit, about 20 years, man.
Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations. Hey, man. Well, happy as hell, but hey, it's been a rough 20, but it's been a good 22. Because,
Yeah.
So I can't help be with nobody but myself. But as I grow, my marriage grew too. So we good, man. I don't know what keep it together is, man. Like we talk, we got problems, we come to us with it. Try to work the problem out together instead of working against each other. But that was pretty much, and then we don't put our business out there. So, I don't ask nobody for no advice about, hey man, should I do this or should I do that? With personal issues, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because they might discourage me in a way where I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah. No doubt, man. But yeah, I'll tell you, man, marriage is I ain't gonna say it's a job, but it's a constant, work ethic. You gotta work at it daily. You gotta, communication. That's the key thing. I think for a successful marriage, you gotta be an open book. You can't be scared to speak your mind and not in no derogatory way, but just, hey, this is how I feel. This is what it is. This is what we got going on. What we gonna do? Let's find a solution. Let's put it all together.
Way it gonna work, bro.
Yeah,
way, man.
I tell you, man. And so, what do you think? Like we live in a time where everything is, social media. Everything is on the forefront. Like, do you see? And I like to stay optimistic. I think we got some smart minds. We got, especially these young kids. They got so much, potential to be anything. With all the resources we have today. But what are some things you think the young cats can kind of, outside of, everything we've already talked about, how can they use, the tools they have to kind of prepare?
What I think, man, if these young cats come together, because these young cats now, they got a lot of influence, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of people that look up to them because they got a lot that we didn't have. They got social media.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones that, I like to salute the young cats too that out there really doing their thing, the stocks and starting their business and just moving the way they move and being a positive role model. But if they was to unify, man, I'm still big on unification. You know what I'm saying? If people were to unify for the right thing with all these young minds and the influence they got, man, it's a lot of things to change, bro.
Yeah, I just, like you said, unity is the number one thing that we could take advantage of, because even, coming from Central Georgia, you see the level of, gang violence, shootings, all these different things. And a lot of times, and, even like when I met you, and I was a blood, you was a GD or whatever, right? And we didn't let the gang affiliation make us instant enemies. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think now it's like, it don't matter if you don't even know the person. They don't even take time to even hear each other out or either see if they got any likeness or any, something on common ground. Like, I don't understand how we can.
Because they don't have the knowledge, man. Like, if these cats out here that's joining these gangs had the knowledge, like, I was a seeker of knowledge and still is to this day. So me getting in GD, it wasn't no gangster disciple. I have never claimed gangster disciple. I always been about growth and development.
Mm-hmm.
That's been my main concept since I got, and actually I didn't even get jumped in. Like people get jumped in. I got blessed in from some guys from Chicago when I met them in Atlanta. They came through. They were seeing the way I moved when I was in Atlanta in 1992. I used to go spend the summers with my cousin now. So I met some guys from Chicago and they were liking the way I moved and shit. They were pretty cool. You know, and I was hearing about, you know, black gangster disciples and you know, I don't care, but they was cool. So they were like, bro, you got to get out. They were just cool with it. I was like, nah, man, I ain't messing with that shit. So they were like, man, we ain't gonna beat you in, we gonna bless you in. I'm like, let's do it. I was running with them anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I got the knowledge of it, man, and knew that it wasn't about, you know, banging on people for color. It's about protecting your community, providing for the people that don't have. That's what it's about, man, to protect us from the oppressor. But we had been fooled and got the wrong concept of gang. That's why people blame with blue, black. They going against color. Think about how crazy that shit sounds.
That is.
You just want to kill somebody because they got on a red or a blue or a black. That's fucking crazy.
It is. But we bought
crazy, man.
We bought into it. But you think about it. When you look at it, I look at it like this. You know, the biggest gang that's red and blue in this country is the Democrats and Republicans. Like, you know, and people feel the same way. People rep their party like it's a game, blindly, no accountability, no,
man.
Ain't, you know, even the gang, even the cats in the streets, they ain't really researching, you know, where they gang came from, why it was formed, what's the reason, what's their policies on, you know, this, that, and the third. They just going with, I'm banging on anybody who ain't wearing red, or I'm banging on anybody who ain't wearing black. And the same way when politics, what I call it, if you ain't a Democrat, you know, I hate all Republicans. Republicans, they hate, and hate is a strong word, but they're not on the same page, you know.
Yeah, no, exactly. We divided, man. And that stands to what I stand on too, like unification. Yeah. If the Democrats and Republicans wasn't just unified and just had one, it'd be so better, man. You know?
And we still fall for the banana in the tailpipe to think that, okay, my side is right, your side is wrong, and vice versa. Like, how do you get past that? So I'm saying, like, I'll try to be solution oriented. Whether it be gangs or whether it be politics, how do you get past, say, okay, no, how do you, like, where does the unity come in at? Is there any hope for unity across all lines, in your opinion?
Right now, like, we in a real war, and it's a spiritual war. So with all that hope, like, what the fuck is that hope? Think about it. For years, man, people been giving us hope, and we ain't did shit with it. I hope I hit the lottery, but I'm just saying, as far as like right now, people need to be working on getting their spirit together, because it's been a good experience here on earth. What we gonna do at the end of the day? We're gonna die.
Yeah.
But while we trying to change, man, and you ain't right, I'm just basically, man, focusing on my spiritual well-being, because I know this just been a good experience here on earth. So as far as like the solution with the people, man, people gonna do what they want to do, because there's so much confusion and so much substance. People indulging in so much, man. Drugs, alcohol, genetically modified food, this bad music, TV shows. Like, their brain ain't programming right, man. So it's gonna be hard to just change, like try to change people for the better, especially with these social media, where, like you say, ain't nothing goddamn good but bad shit.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing good but bad shit.
Yeah.
So we just a confused people, man. So that's like, I don't have no answer for that, man, because everybody got the answer, but it don't be no fucking, solution. So I don't have no answer. You know what I'm saying? I just really work on my spiritual well-being, man. Even like with the people in my life, I try to be an example and, encourage them to find out who they are within the inside and fix that, man. Because as far as like fixing a whole lot of people, like you say, bro, people don't want it, man. People don't want what you got, especially if it's right. What you say called right. But some people just living their life.
Yeah, and it's just awful. I think we're coming to I even look at, the younger generation and even the generation coming after them. And I look at it, you look at the way we came up. If you did something wrong, whether it be at school, you be in the community, with, be in the neighborhood with your friends, you got your ass tore up. You got either you got a paddling at school. You got your neighbor might whoop your ass. If they didn't, they gonna tell your mama and she gonna whoop your ass. Like now it's almost like now that parents nowadays are asking kids what you want to eat tonight.
Hell yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You touch my kid, I'm gonna kill your ass.
Yeah,
shit like that. You can't even tell a kid they doing something wrong. The kid might cuss you out and kill your ass. These days. And then the parent coming, what you told my kid to do? It's crazy, man.
And I'm just trying to figure out, again, I try to stay solution oriented. And I'm just trying to figure out, when did we fall, or when did we get to the point where, the unity was gone. The unity as far as there are some people together, but I'm saying as a whole, collectively, we can only come together on certain situations, you know what I mean? And they are kind of slim and far in between as far as what we come together on. But when did we kind of lose it? I can't go back to maybe the 60s or 70s.
As far as, okay, I'm gonna say as far as us, I was young. So you remember when they had all that Black Power music? I think the music would change, man, because they had music back in the day with Public Enemy and Fight the Power, all that music. That right there had people wearing African medallions, throwing up the fist. It wasn't nothing but love, Black Power brothers. People were saying Assalamu alaikum, didn't know what the hell it means.
Yeah.
It was just, and then when the music changed, people just stopped showing love. They changed with the music, man. And these big companies, they know what they're doing, bro. We brainwashed, dog.
I can totally
brainwashed. That's what changed it, man. It ain't we happen to fall victim to this, being a product of our environment. We can't help it. A lot of us can't help it unless you dig within and figure out who you are.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything is trending. You're gonna follow trends.
Yeah.
People trying to keep up with what's cool. Shit cool ain't even cool because the media make it cool. Now it's cool because they don't know who they are. That's what, like I was saying, you got to change from within, man, or you'll be caught up in society, caught up with the masses. If not,
I use a quote all the time. In this age of information, ignorance is at an all-time high.
At an all-time high.
You got a computer in your hand with more technology than they had in 1960 when they went to the moon, and we still somehow are less informed.
We're the smartest, dumbest, man, ever been created, man.
It is a trip, man. It's a trip. But
man.
But yeah, man, we got to pay a few bills, man. We'll be right back with you in 30 seconds. Y'all be great today. Peace. 405, Sparta Highway in Millersville. Be the Head Barbecue. The best barbecue in the whole Southeast, baby. There's no event too big, too small. They got you. They got rental tables. They got grills. They got chairs. They got tents. They got the best ribs in the whole South, you feel me? They got that one flip chicken, you know what I mean? The size, them butter beans, them baked beans, them collard greens, them cabbages, that dressing, oh my God. Go check my boy out at 405 Sparta Highway. Call him up, 478-251-5300. Be great today. Peace. All right, we back live on that with Mr. Be Great Today, Lamar King Sr. Got my man Telly X in the building. And we're just gonna jump back in. All right, Telly, I want to ask you this. What's your definition of success? Like, what's your true definition of success?
When you conquering everything from within, man, like conquering yourself, that's my definition of success. It ain't no amount of money. It ain't no accomplishment. It's just my peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? When I got my peace of mind, I know I was successful then at that point. That's my definition, of just having a relaxed peace of mind. Just being in a place, man, where like your character is right. You know what I'm saying? You're on point. That's my definition of success.
I got you. And so, and like you saying, being a master of within, being a master of self, right? And being, able to move how you do without, really stepping on no toes and nothing like that. So how do you stay grounded in that? Because we all can go down that rabbit hole or go way left field sometimes. How do you stay grounded in making sure you achieve that success?
I got a sense of discernment, man. Like I say, well, a lot of people talk crystals and knives. I use crystals and candles.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what keeps me grounded and in a space of like warding off of. I can't be around negative energy, man. Like I'm just allergic to that shit. So that would just keep me grounded, just knowing my peace of mind.
Yeah, yeah, and you're right, man. And I sure appreciate you, even though I lost the crystal. That piece I bought from you, man. It was the it was a purple sunstone. I lost it at the airport.
Man, it served its purpose. That's all. It went to the next owner. You know what I'm saying? Like they traveling. When you think about it, man, stones and crystals have always been here. And like energy, it don't be created or destroyed. It just passed on to the next person that needed it at the time.
Yeah.
No, that's all it is. It was just for you at the moment when you indulged in it, and it did. I seen a big change. They used to call me. I had this thing beside my computer, man. Guess what? I done wrote a book.
Exactly.
It's magical, man. It's magical, man. I don't try to, put people's on it, man. I just, if you know me, you know me. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm talking about. So I don't just be out promoting it or putting it out there like, bro, like it's magical, man.
Yeah. And like you say, and again, when I try not to force, my ideologies or my beliefs or what have you on anyone. And like you say, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, we it's cool. It ain't no big deal. You ain't my enemy now. And I think we get caught up in society that we want everybody to agree on certain things, and if we don't, then we feel like we can't rock. But nonetheless, why do you feel like happiness comes easier to other people and harder for others? Like how come some people are just always like yourself, who are always positive? They don't want you don't want that negative energy around you. But then you have those negative Nancy's, you have those people who always got something negative to say. Why is it that some people find happiness and others just seem to can't find it in some cases?
I think like my answer is still gonna be like it's all on the individual, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people happy at certain things, and some people happy when they got a lot of money. Or some people happy when they got all the drugs. Some people happy when they got nice cars or big houses. It's just their own definition of happiness. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, sometimes people, that makes them happy for a moment, but how they feel in the inside. You know what I'm saying? Because they proving everything to the world. Like I got this and I got that, but then they be miserable.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people be in a rat race, man, trying to keep up with the other people as far as like, I got to buy this, I got to do this, and then at the same time, they got to work 7 or 8 jobs to keep it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they just portray that image that they have. Happiness, man, is something that can't be defined or as far as like, you have to be happy to know you happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can fake it all day on social media as far as like, I'm happy. You and your wife and all that on social media taking pictures, but is you really happy? You know what I'm saying?
Might be fighting soon as that post go.
That post go away. You know what I'm saying? So happiness, man, it's still like I don't have really, it's everything for me, man, come from within. You are your own solution, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, like at this point in your life, wherever you at, a person at this point in their life, we here because we put ourselves here. You in a fucked up situation, you in a good situation, you healthy, you unhealthy, whatever you at in your life, man, you here right now because you put you right here. You did this to you. Whether you're doing good or you doing bad. So you got to accept it, man. Take self-accountability for everything that you do. And you will be happy. You really find happiness, man. Like as far as like growing up, I always had an image of like how I want to be when I get older.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have all, but I done succeeded that, man. As far as like, I done accomplished all those visions I done had as a kid. Because I never wanted a lot of material things, but, this life done bless me with a lot of nice things. You know what I'm saying? I don't flex, flauds, or, post things on social media. But I don't enjoy life, man. But on the flip side, I'm truly happy, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, with everything I done been through, man. And I'm still going through stuff right now. Like, I'm going through stuff now that people breaking down going through. They high in therapy, but I find my own solution from within, man. Like, I look in the mirror and I discern what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? I know how to distinguish my wants and my needs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I say it often, man. we have all the tools and resources within ourselves to fix our issues. And all it takes is for you to be honest with yourself. And I know it sounds like a cliche, it sounds real simple, but that's how simple life is. And I think we place material possessions, whether it be money, cars, clothes, you know the white picket fence in the house, like we place that as a threshold for success or a threshold for happiness. But like you say, take Robin Williams, the comedian, Mrs. Doubtfire. The man was a millionaire. The man was, had, 7 8 zeros in the bank account, and he committed suicide. And I think that when you don't, the more you've been, if you've never been through nothing, then how you gonna overcome when you actually get to a point where you got money or you got the abundance of material things, but then you ain't never been through nothing spiritual, nothing emotional, nothing physical. And then when it comes, all the money in the world ain't gonna save you. It's definitely not gonna save you. And you talked about as far as like you saw your accomplishments as far as what you wanted to be as a child into an adulthood. What would you say your greatest accomplishment is today?
Finding myself spiritually, man.
Yeah.
Because throughout my life, man, I don't participate in a lot of religions. Just got down with it because I've been, like I said, I'm a seeker of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Dr. York was in town, I was studying New Wabians, going to church with my mama, a Baptist, and then a Muslim, and all of that. And also, the last thing what really changed my life, man, when I started going to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that's what really changed my life. Anybody into the religion, that's what I would promote the most, because that what actually changed my life, because they showed me the real definition of family. You know what I'm saying? When I joined that Church of Jesus Christ, so what they call it, a Mormon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what really changed my life.
And so the family aspect of it mostly, but other than that, what would you say differentiate from the Baptist or Islam, or even Dr. York following? What differentiates outside the family?
Oh, basically, man, like it for me personally, it felt different, man, because it wasn't no judgment. You can go to the Church of Jesus Christ, you can be a millionaire, you can be broke, you can be accepted the same. You can be a doctor, or you can be a bum. When you come in those doors, man, you accepted like as who you are. Like you ain't looked at what you got or the possession you hold or the position or your title. Everybody's equal. So that was different for me. That's what, kind of distinguished it for me to show, okay, these folks are really real, man. Mm-hmm. But it goes a little deeper than that with me. Like, as far like that was on the religious side when I was like, because I had never read the whole Bible, man, to tell you the truth. I never read the whole Bible because,
many people haven't. I say more have not than have.
Yeah, okay. I be looking at, I had a debate like, well, a man wrote it, you know what I'm saying? How can you know the truth, whatever. Like, where they get the knowledge from? I be thinking like, shit, man, we them same people. So that's what made me realize, like, not looking up to a ruler or a certain idol. It's just going with the spirits, man.
Yeah, and I think the religion aspect of life have helped a lot of people, regardless of you. But regardless
you come with being religious.
Yeah, regardless of
what you call blessings.
Yeah, exactly. Regardless if you Christian, Muslim, Buddhism, Hinduism, whatever, it has really changed a lot of people for the good. But does that mean that because you're a Christian and you're a Muslim, that means you're different? That means one's right and one's wrong. And I think that's where we kind of drop the ball at, to where we
say that changed for the good, though. What are you comparing it to? Like the things that they have materially? Because you got a lot of people that's in religion, that in churches that done acquired a lot of things, but still they be inside, they be dirty people. Like they be, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you mean when you say it done changed them for the good?
I'm saying like, even like as far as like drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol, a lot of times, people have, went the religious route, whether it be, either religion that's on the board. They have went the religious route and changed them, I think that help propels them to be a better person personally. Now, how they treat others, that varies. but I'm saying as far as like one-on-one, some people they start developing better habits, whether it
You
be
right, bro. You
you
know
know what I
what? I
mean.
think you're right because if it wasn't for religion, I think this world would be full of barbarians.
You're
Because
right.
religion gave you something, like it gave you that hope. It gave you
Mm-hmm.
something to follow and to strive for, something to believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Even if people think it's false, but look at the ones that changed their life, that actually being productive out here because of their religion. So it
Correct.
is a good thing. You
It
know what
is,
I'm saying? Yeah, you're
and
right.
and
You're
and
right.
that's it's just like I had my brother on. I had the Life After Prison show episode. Y'all go back and check that out. It's a few episodes back, and I was talking to my brother, and we was talking about people like, well, I'm glad I came to jail because I saved my life. I would have killed somebody would have killed me. But my brother said some interesting stuff. He said, man, you could have found that same peace or that same mindset if you had just went to the library and sat down somewhere. If you had looked in that mirror and worked on yourself. And I think people and I tell people often that people oftentimes give God too much credit. And hear me out why I say that. It's because God or the higher power or the universe or whomever whatever you want to call it, right? They give you the tools, they give you the five senses, that you got the resources here. And again, God can tell it, don't go out, don't make that left turn. Don't make that left turn or whatever your mind, somebody can be like, don't go left. But guess what? You still can go right if you want to. So at the end of the day, you have the power of choice. You have the power to make the decision. Because at the end of the day, man, right from wrong being the way you was based on how you was brought up. Let's clear that up. But you can't go slap a person without any consequences or recourse. Now, of course,
Some people think they can.
some people do, because again, it's back to how you were raised. But if you, it's been plenty of people I didn't thought about slapping, but I knew that it's going to be, it's going to be some repercussions behind it. So it just was a thought, so I didn't go. And that goes back to saying, well, if God tell you to go left, and then you say, you know what, I'm going right. So I think people they use religion for their benefit, but at the same time, I feel that people really, if they look within and they be honest with themselves, they be honest, even like praying. Like just like I talked about how the podcast is therapeutic because I'm putting those words out there. I feel like when people pray, they talking to themselves. They telling themselves what they want. You know what I mean? They're speaking things into existence, and then they're giving the credit to their higher power, their universe, their God, their whatever. Because at the end of the day, you still have the power of choice.
You still got the power of choice, and it's more than just two choices.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Think it's the choice of your mind and then the choice of your heart. Because sometimes your mind can tell you something. It sounds like a good idea, but in your heart, it's the wrong idea. But the third choice comes from your intuition, your gut.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? When you get that small, still voice, like in the Bible, what they call it, the Holy Ghost.
The Holy Ghost, yeah, correct.
Yeah, when you hear that small, still voice, your intuition, when it speaks to you, go against your heart, man, because you making the right decision for that moment. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't the right time to make it. Trust your heart, but go with your gut answer. Yeah. Always doubt your thoughts, you know what I'm saying, like your mind, because your mind can be altered, man, but you can be just ate something to have you thinking different. Mm-hmm. God forbid if you drink something or smoke something, you really thinking different then. Yeah. But your heart, you know what I'm saying, your heart always gonna pump pure.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And that's why, that's why I think, just like you said, it's important to know yourself. It's important to be brutally fucking honest with yourself. I'm saying, like, and we have been programmed and taught to lie to ourselves or believe.
Bunch of fools, man. Cause think about it, you can fool yourself. My mama always told me that. Look, man, you can fool other people, but if you fool yourself, you're a damn fool. Now think about how many fools walking around here, really, literally fools. Mm-hmm. Not only fooling people, man. A lot of people fooling themselves.
Yeah, and think they, and I think the level of influence that we place, that the media and the internet and the music, whatever, all this stuff that places us in scenarios that we may think we're acting in the right capacity. You just think about it. A Republican think he's supposed to be against the Democrats and vice versa. Like it's like the norm of right and wrong has a sliding scale. Like you can
damn fool.
I'm talking about for real. So, and again, we ain't got to go deep into that rabbit hole, but what makes you who you are, Telly? What's the essential ingredient that make Telly X who he is?
Just being authentic, man. Just being, like you said, I ain't trying to be nobody else because I ain't no actor. You know what I'm saying? I can only be me, who I am. And then I know we only got one life to live, so I ain't gonna hold back. I'm just gonna keep it a buck, because I keep it real with me first. You know what I'm saying? So I can't fool myself, so why am I trying to fool somebody else to be something I'm not? That's what make me who I am. I'm just me, man. Like, I can't be nobody else, bro. I don't know nothing else to be but be authentic, man. I'm a realist, if you can call it that.
Yeah. I call myself a realist too, because I take things for what they are. You're not gonna piss on my head and call it rain when I'm tasting salt. Like, I know rain ain't salted. You know what I mean? So I understand that. You have to be authentic in who you are, and you have to stand on your square and stand. Because if you don't, you'll fall for anything. If you got to stand for something, and why not stand for yourself? And I think we just been so conformed to society, and especially with the internet now. Even to the point, I got a show coming up about, do men really like BBLs? And I know from men, it look good. You know what I mean? It might look, some of them, I ain't gonna say all of them, but I think a lot of times women have, they think it's a flex because they went and got their body done, but really it just shows you have a lot of insecurities, because you want to look just like all the women nowadays, especially modern women. They look just alike in a sense, like eyelashes, long weave, BBLs, same, like they.
Yeah, if you think about it, like when you talking about the women that look most alike, all the internet women and all that, the dudes do too.
Damn sure do.
With the big beards and however they trying to, the image that everybody's trying to get. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no different, man.
You're definitely.
We confuse people, man. We are confused people, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man.
And we, but what's this? I try. What's the solution? How do we get out of this rat race? How do we, how do we?
Are your own solution, bro. You got to look in the mirror, man, and know who you are from the other side of the mirror. That's the only solution.
Yeah.
That's the only solution that I can come up with that got me to the point where, I'm comfortable with being me, comfortable in my own skin. Like, I ain't got to just fake the funk. I ain't got to have it because they got it, I know who I am, man. I know what makes me feel good and not look good, because a lot of people be looking good but really don't be feeling good.
Yeah, and it's true. And you know what? And because I'm gonna tell you something. Even back when we was out there in the streets, and I thought it was cool, to have my flag hanging out my pants, have my hat cocked to the left, doing this. You know what I mean? I thought that was it, but went home every night, be like, man, what am I doing? Just like saying, what purpose am I getting out of this? I'm creating enemies for no reason, because they stay on another side of town, or because they wear a different color, or because they got a different star. Like, when you look back on it, and it's kind of like, and that's why I can, most time people who don't understand the gang culture, or they don't understand the street life and how young cats can get out here and act as they are in some cases throughout the whole country. But then the people who are looking down on them, they have some of the same flaws. It's just a different way. My grandma used to say, just because you seeing different than another person doesn't make you better than them. It doesn't. So, right. it just baffles me sometimes in how we just, we don't look within. We don't have that real,
I'm glad I caught myself at an early age, man, because when I got involved, bro, I done did it. The reason I do so much positive shit because I'm trying to outdo my bad. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things I won't incriminate myself as far as speaking on it. So I'm here today, I'm alive, I'm free. It could have been easily, man. We could have been on the other end of those RICO acts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With the influences we had and then the things we were participating in.
No doubt.
So you got to discern, man, like, is this 2-3 years stretch, or you out here getting this money worth them 25 years your ass gonna get when you get jammed? Or just sit your ass down, man. Yeah. So you gonna be doing, I'd rather be sitting down out here, not participating in the bullshit than locked up, sitting down. You know what I'm saying? That's why I call what I'm doing is incarcerate myself to the street. You know what I'm saying? I'll just I'm locked up out here, man. Y'all can have this street shit. I'm inside. Well, everybody say they were outside. I'm in the inside, bro. I'm chilling.
You
Nah,
inside.
for real, man. 'Cause I done did it, man. And then because, like, think about the generation that we fucked up when we participated. Now, we looking at them doing shit, but we were the one that fucked them up.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you know what I'm saying? The things that we were doing. But I remember going to the club, man, deep with everybody scrapped. I'm talking about the same shit they doing now.
Yeah.
But I seen niggas doing it before me.
Yeah.
So at what point am I gonna change? You know what I'm saying? To be a different example. So that was one of the main reasons that made me change. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm out here participating there. I got people actually following me. But I ain't never just thought that that's what I was doing. But a lot of people do that because they know they got that clout. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the same way, you know, you find yourself, you know, in a situation, even myself, you know, coming up, I'm thinking I'm following the game. And then at the end of the day, I think more or less a lot of them were following me. And because I wanted to rep it to the fullest, because I was, you know, I was one of them, you know what I mean, let's go. I was so-called trained to go. And I'm thinking I'm doing, you know, and then you, like you say, you look now, you know, because we was the first generation of gangs in Central Georgia. Like, we were the first generation, you know, and then you look at, and everything's only evolves, whether good or bad.
Only evolves.
You know, and now, you know, we had 38s and 380s and 25s and 9s, you know, you might have one chopper in the whole clique. Not everybody got a Draco. Not everybody.
Yeah, what is a pistol?
What is a pistol?
What is a pistol? Everybody carries a Draco.
Everybody carries.
Everybody is a stepper. Think about it. Like, you remember how the music used to be back in the day, right? Niggas be rapping, you say, oh man, niggas ain't talking doing that shit they rapping about. But you hear these niggas now talking about that shit on their music. Them niggas doing that shit, boy. When them niggas say they're stepper, them niggas steppers, boy.
So, and they got the artillery. You know,
got it, man.
Because I remember coming out the streets, and when they started, really AK was the only real chopper back then. You know what I mean? AK-47, that was it. And you know what I mean? You could get them for $500 back then. Like, I remember brand new, out the box, you know, $500. Now, I don't know how much they're going for now on the street. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they done went up a lot more than $500, but now they're more plentiful. You can get them right on a dime a dozen right now. So and that's why I think you have more people getting killed in gun violence, because, you know, a cat shoot you with a 380, you probably gonna make it, but you get hit with that 223, you know what I mean? Oh boy, you know what I mean? You get hit in the wrong spot, you probably ain't gonna make it. I think that's what's elevated the death rate as far as in street violence, gun violence, and things like that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So you got any question you want to ask me, Telly? What, anything you want to ask? Do you want to ask me anything?
I want to ask you, man. I've been thinking, like, just watching you over the year, like, where do you get your ambition from, bro?
Ambition. It just, you know what, man, coming up, you know, and not to toot my own horn, but, you know, really to toot my own, I was a very smart individual as far as schoolwork, you know, just, I could get along with anybody. I was just, you know, a social butterfly, you know, so to speak. And, you know, as I got, you know, middle age, adolescent, young adult age, I turned that into something. I became something I was pretending like a motherfucker. Like, to be straight up honest, I was raised around a whole bunch of so-called real niggas or gangsters or whatever. So, you know, it was just like my lineage kind of gave me that persona. They gave me that stigma that, oh, that's YK, that mean dog little brother, that dirt little, you know what I mean? Like, so I tried to live up to that. I tried to live up to their image. I tried to carry that torch that they had came before me with. And then when I finally came to a realization that, man, this is bullshit, what are you doing? And I started having kids, you know what I mean? It's like, man, no way. Just like, you know, I'm like, I can't do this, right? And I think, just like you said earlier, now it's all about righting those wrongs of my middle years of life. Like, now is all the stuff I should have been doing this back when I was in high school. I should have been applying myself as far as being MrBeGreatToday back in my, you know, my younger years. And now it's all about, now I gotta right those wrongs. Now it's all about me becoming that person I've always been. MrBeGreatToday has been on the inside of me since day one. but I suppressed him and suppressed him and suppressed him and let YK ride the forefront. And that's where I lost myself. That's why, you know, and it wasn't until I was facing, you know, 20 years in the pen, you know, being in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people. And didn't have nothing to do with that. But I almost went to prison, not once, but twice. You know, fooling around with people I really didn't have no business dealing with, or doing things I really had no business doing. And so now today it's like, dog, they had a chance. Like I said, I was supposed to be the one in that RICO Act. I was supposed to be on these different type of cases, but you know what I mean, I somehow, you know, it was a greater, today was already predestined in certain, you know what I mean, it was already predestined because I didn't have to go down the road. I didn't have to go do no extensive time, no calendars behind that wall. And now that I you know, get a second chance or third chance or fourth chance, I mean, I done took. Now it's all about making sure I'm on the right path, making sure I ain't straddling the fence trying to do, because each time I like to went to prison, I was straddling the fence. I was trying to be a husband, father, and then I was gonna be a street nigga too. I was trying to be an employee, a worker, trying to, you know, do this, got family health care plan, but then I'm a so-called, you know, street nigga. So to look at myself now, once I surpassed that and once I got to the realization, had those low conversations with myself, now it's time to walk my path, walk my walk that I should have been walking from day one, pretty much.
Right. You tapped in, huh?
Yeah, I'm tapped in. Now it's like I got a new lease on life. You know, I got another chance. Even now, man, I got a new wife, got a new baby on the way, man. I got a chance to right all my wrongs in life. I got a chance to now, I got a clean slate almost. It's like, man, I don't look back and just only to see how far I've come. And now it's like, man, like happy, man, I'm happy as hell. I've never been this happy because I've never been myself. I was always portraying somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the biggest thing for me, man. Just that's why I had to, you know, check yourself, man. Have that talk in that mirror, man. And people don't want to have it. People don't want to be honest with themselves. People don't want to show their flaws. You know, people don't want to talk about their shortcomings as if they never had them, or they've always had the good life, or they feel like, you know, I'm doing good because I make 6 figures, but your inside is all fucked up. Like, you know,
uproar.
You know,
man, that happiness hit different, man. Like you said, once you're happy and you know you're happy for real, it's a different feeling, man, than just that, you know, you happy for the world or happy for everybody else. When you happy and you know you happy for real, this shit hit different, man.
I'll tell you, man. And you know, there's nothing worse than having a Corvette with a Honda engine. That's, you know, and a lot of people walk around like that. They got the Corvette outside, or persona. They got the Corvette, you know, appearance, but that motor is a 4-cylinder. No cap, you know what I mean? It be like that.
What you talking about,
you know what I mean? They got, you know, if from a mechanics out there, they using that old castor oil in they engine, and it's all sludged up in there. You take them heads off of that, man, it's gonna be sludge all in the bottom of that block. Like, and that's because they haven't had a real self-analysis, a real self-check of who they are and what they need to do. You know what I mean? That's what I had to do, man. And
change your engine. So
yeah, change that engine.
You need to change that engine.
They need to change that engine, man. You need to switch it out. You know, take it somewhere. You know what I mean? Don't go to Randy Dixon and get it sprayed now. Don't do and you ain't got your motor work right. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, man, you have to do like the cats do back in the day, man. They had to put them new goddamn Vortex engines in them box Chevy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. They still doing. They put them Vortex in them don'ts. You know, they still doing.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
what you
That's the only way.
That's what you got to do, man. You know. But what would you say to your top? You know, what's your top 3 rules to navigate life, Telly? Like, if there was some rules, like what is the top 3 rules to navigate life?
Top 3 rules is goddamn. And this is what I live by. My main philosophy, man, is just treat people how I want people to treat me, man. That's my top. You know what I'm saying? And everything else fall into that. Like when you resort to dealing with any situation, you look at yourself on the other side of the situation. That's how you try to handle it. That's how I try to handle every situation I'm in. It don't matter if I'm right, wrong. I'm looking at it from the opposite situation before I even respond to it.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say as far as like, you know, treat people like you want to be treated, man. And
Yeah.
life would be so much easier if everybody did that. Like, really.
Yeah.
The rule is, man, is to practice being calm and remain humble. You know what I'm saying? Once you can control your emotion, and you can control your emotions and be calm through the situation, you're gonna think about it. Like when something happened, like irate. You know, I had my kid, you know, situation with my kid, they going through shit like all the time, like major shit, life changing shit make you have a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have to sit back and just breathe and just look at the situation and be like, okay, it's out of my control. What can I do? You know what I'm saying? They made that choice. They're gonna have to handle the consequences. So I just look at it for me, man, just staying calm, bro, and remaining humble. That's it. If anybody can do that, you can practice being calm, you can master that, you good.
Yeah, man. I tell you, it takes a lot to do that because especially when, you know, Telly Boone still down on deep down in the inside, you know, like a little kid on, like, you know, little kid at the fella.
Dog.
Yep.
I ain't say this shit was easy now because I still div and down. You know, I bust a move. You know, I'm still me.
Yeah.
But I have to goddamn balance that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one thing for sure, I never put myself in a compromised situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna do something, bro, you best believe I'm gonna be by myself. Yeah. I ain't gonna tell on me because I love me. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But and then, like you said, I know what I do, man. The dumbass shit that I would do. So I try to stay focused, man, on what I'm focused on. I love this feeling of being free, being out here seeing the grandkid play. I don't want to be goddamn getting visits and, you know, all that old shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And definitely can go there. If you're not, you know, if you don't remain calm, like I gotta, you know, shout out to Niggas Fingers, man. Me and him talk often. He just about to drop another album. And me and him talking, he be driving, and he got a bad case of road rage. I'm like, hold up, man, just chill. We need to take you to road rage. Like, even like road rage, I had to learn. I was bad at it. But then you got to think about it, man. You getting mad at somebody who in another car, and they finna go on about they business. Your blood pressure up. You done added more stress. Like I had to say, okay, they just can't drive. Let me readjust. Let me fix myself, cause I'm not finna be, cause it can go left. You know,
it can go left, man. And like I say, look, you got to think about with that road rage. Think about what would you do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you riding and you make a mistake and somebody, you know, that's how I'm saying. Like treat people like you want to be treated. Like what would you do in that road rage? Like you said, you get raised up, you would kill that motherfucker. Yeah. Don't you think that motherfucker kill your ass?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
like the old saying go, they made one, they made a million. You know what I mean?
They made a million, exactly, man. So that's like when you, I'm talking about when you really, really live life by that, treat people how you want to be treated, and put yourself on the other side of any situation you're in, whether you're right or wrong. Now that take a lot of self-accountability because when you're wrong, you got to be able to say, look, man, I apologize, I'm sorry. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You got to ball that pride up. You know?
And it got to be genuine. You know what I mean?
It got to be genuine.
It got to be genuine. You know, and I think people, you know, they use the words. You know, even even when people even use the word "I love you" so freely, but do you truly love that person? Do you? You know what I mean?
Love is an action, man. Love is an action, man. Don't tell me you love me, show me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit easy to say.
Yeah. A lot of stuff easy to say.
Like it's easy to say. You can tell a motherfucker, man, fuck you, but you don't really mean that shit. Because if I tell somebody fuck you, man, fuck you. Yeah. You know, for real. So I never tell a person that.
Yeah. Because then you don't. Because again, that you never. Them, you know, anytime your disrespect comes involved, that thing definitely can go, you know, way left, and that's why
use freely too. That love word and all that old hate shit. Man, you don't really mean that when you tell a person that. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, when you get to court or when you in jail, why do you be asking for forgiveness? Saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bro, come on, man. Breathe. Take a moment before you make that decision. Just breathe and reevaluate that decision you're about to make, because this shit about to be life changing.
I'm telling you, man. I sure appreciate for having you coming on the show, man. You know, you're my partner, you're my friend, you're my brother. And man, you know, you got any last words for the people before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. Just stay focused, man. Stay grounded and believe in yourself. That's it.
Yeah. I sure appreciate having you, man. Thank y'all again for tapping in with us, man. We got Telly X On that with Mr. Be Great Today, Lamar King Sr. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Be great today. Peace.
But like I said, man, hey, man, it's all love, man.
Know that, bro.
Keep it 100 with me ever since I've been motherfucking, ever since we been little niggas throwing motherfucking rocks at each other, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, bro. Hey, but I'm gonna shoot that paper to you, man. I'm gonna shoot you that other 40, man, so you can get that down little music. Get your music
Yeah,
playing.
man, them motherfuckers, these crackers gave nigga MP3 players in them motherfuckers, man, so they can get music. Nigga ain't behind on the music, cause they ain't have nothing but the AM radios in them motherfuckers. You ain't have to players and shit.
Yeah.
You know, these crackers just giving you technology to keep you in here, though. You still gonna be behind.
Yeah.
But just giving you shit. Yeah, but you got to pay for everything.
Yeah.
You got email, but you got to pay for that. You got telephone, you got to pay for that. You got motherfucking MP3 player, but you got to pay for that. They $1.20 a song.
Got to.
You do the math.
Got to. And it what? 3 million motherfucking federal inmates? In the
Come on,
game?
it's 200, be exact, it's 215,000 now.
Got to.
It's 215,000 federal inmates, dog. That's just federal. They ain't talking about state, we talking about federal.
Got to.
So you talking about out of 215,000 federal inmates, and each one of our MP players at the rate of $85. You do the math.
At like 16 million or some shit, man.
Niggas on the Joneses, milking their people out of money, trying to act like they had, son. And most of the niggas locked up ain't never motherfucking small time petty. Ain't no motherfuckers ain't got no money. Niggas think you in federal, man. Some broke ass niggas who been in and out of federal, in and out of prison all their life, and the feds finally get you and give you a gang of time, and it's over with, bro. Ain't nobody in here, man. This shit overrated, bro.
Yeah.
It overrated, bro.
That what the world done came to. Them of the overrated world, man.
Everything vice versa. When it used to be this, it ain't that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga holler about real shit, but niggas know they talking like bitches, though, dog. You feel what I'm saying? Why can't these niggas talking like hoes, dog? And then here, niggas talk about all the real niggas, dog. It ain't nothing some bitches in here. All thing these niggas do is sit around and gossip about each other, dog.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing else going on in life, dog. They ain't got nothing else to worry about, nigga. Worry about when a nigga go to the microwave and cook a motherfucking ramen noodle soup. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he trying to see if you got some beef sticks in there or something there.
Niggas ain't got them. Fuck around, cook 2, 3 more motherfucking beef sticks. Nigga gonna be mad at you. But so, hey, that my nigga Bill right here, man. He another real nigga, man. Bill, Hey, free real Bill too, man.
All right.
Free. Hey, Bill, you know you recording, man. You on the CD, dog. We on the CD, man. Live. Yeah, for real. He talking about, yeah, right. Nigga don't believe me, man. Nigga gave up on hope.
Hey, he'll hit on the MP3 player.
Hey, nigga, you hit on your MP3 player, nigga. You talking about, let me get back on the head to the shower now, bro. You thought this nigga was nigga keep running out of the cell. Here you go, man. This real Bill, man. Yeah, man. Free my Bill, man. Free my nigga, goddamn, man. Yeah. Bigs up, goddamn. Wow, young nigga, 20, man. 15 years, man. Got the RICO Act.
Yeah.
The RICO Act for the gang shit, man. Gave him 10 years, 22 years old. Ain't even lived, dog.
Damn, bruh.
Ain't even lived, dog. Ain't got no kids. In college, jumped the game. Now I got motherfucking 120 months, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Tell you, bro. That
hey,
shit.
Bro.
Yeah.
Keep your head up, man.
Know that, man.
Once again, man. Man, my nigga, rest in peace, nigga. Me and dog, but we love you, but all the way to the death of, man.
Know that.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Don't forget me on that little packet, man.
I got you, bro.
I know I can count on you, man.
Know that.
Huh?
I said, know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and snap that thing up so I can get that little mirrors and shit. Hey, man. Keep doing your thing, boy, and I love you, man.
Love you too, bro, man. You stay up, man.
All right, man.
Yeah.